Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair.
Woohoo! Welcome to Thursday and the one and only episode of The Penguin that we will be watching on a Thursday, since the remainder of them will be airing on Sunday night, 6 p.m. 9. I don't know if we're going to do watch parties on Sunday nights. We may. I don't know. We'll have to put the. I might have to start using the polls a little bit more. What would you guys rather do? Just have our Sunday night live stream, or would you rather watch Penguin, or both? I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, welcome to the very first episode of The Penguin. It's called After Hours. I am just doing it through Max. I'm not doing it through Twitch right now. Been having some issues with Twitch and Max lining up. It doesn't work even with good cable. So I'm going to be starting it at all zeros. I'm not skipping the intro. And I'm just going to wait for a couple more people that should have the link by now to come in.
Yo, William.
Hey, what's going on, Spidey and Toledo?
What's up?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to send you a link. Sorry.
What's going on, Ruth? Ruth's back in the chat.
Yep.
I thought it was good, William. I don't know if you saw it yet, but I thought it was good.
I have not seen it. I've been busy all the way up to tonight. Like I said, I thought it was going to be yesterday, and then when I made the event, but now I was available then, but I was not available, so I'm going to be watching it for the very first time. So if I don't interact a lot, it's because I'm actually watching the episode.
I won't spoil anything for you, but I will say is the way I envision that the saga should have went is definitely not the way it's going, but it's not for worse. It's just my theory was disproven. That's all I would say.
Cool. Yes, thank you. The interview with Kit Green from Neverland Nightmare. She's the one that plays Tinkerbell. So I had an entertaining interview with her last week, and we got it up today. Let me bring that up and give you guys a link to that in the chat. Yeah, the trailer's also in there as well. These guys have been very, very cool about giving us access to their actors and directors and people that are associated with. Did we just lose the idea? I didn't do it at that time. So
You got a little international action going on. The FCC said you have to start paying the BBC license fee to get the lot of you on. That's what's going on.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, that means we don't have any Brits on. Oh, well. All right. Well, hello, everybody in the chat. Ruth, nice to see you again. Waiting for what's going on, Vince. So I put the link to that interview in the chat. I'm waiting for. Did I do it? Did it work? Okay, good. It worked. Something's wrong. I'm waiting for Brad.
Oh, okay. It might be his bedtime, past his bedtime.
Yeah, he might have done that Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
But he just reposted it. So
he had a warm milk on a Thursday night, and sleep took over. Mommy made him a warm glass of milk, and it was over.
When did he do this? Hold on. I don't know if he just did this right now or if he's asleep. I don't know. Okay, who's this? Oh, Jay, I just got the notification that I'm live.
That's strange. I finally got the notification on time this time around. So
Yeah, dude, it's so weird. All right, so we're gonna start exactly at 11:40. So everybody get queued up for it. Like I said,
there's about a minute. There's about a minute or so of previews and whatnot that you can skip over, and then there's a little podcast trailer or
I'm just gonna let
stinger.
I'm just gonna let it go. That way, somebody comes in a few seconds late, we can just redirect them to whatever we're at.
Okay. So start from the Dune preview or whatever.
Yeah, just start at zeros.
Okay.
Everybody start at zeros.
All right, I'm all zeroed up. You said.
Got 2 minutes. We're gonna start at 11:40.
Got you. I did catch what you called as well. I enjoyed it. Twilight.
Twilight of the Gods.
I saw everything. I saw Twilight. I saw Agatha all along, and I saw
a couple minutes of Agatha. I saw Twilight of the Gods. We're gonna be doing that on Saturday.
Yeah.
For the charity. What's going
on, Clint?
Perfect timing. I just finished it just as you guys are starting.
All right. Okay. Now, Clint, you can't get mad if I start talking shit about Batman. Now, this is I'm within my bounds, dude. You can't get a conniption going, dude.
I don't get conniptions.
What is going on in the back?
He's enjoying himself, man. He's living life.
He's got Miley Cyrus. He's got Miley Cyrus playing.
Let him live, man. Let the man live.
You got Party in the USA? Party in the USA.
What's going on, B-Rad?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Apparently.
You are a little groggy, aren't you?
No, that's fine. Brad's having in Raid Dreamland.
Brad.
No, I don't.
That's everything.
Clint.
Spider-Man, I don't get upset about you talking about Batman. I get upset about you trying to convince William that Batman Beyond is worth it.
That's my personal enjoyment.
Yeah, I'm still working on him with Doomsday, you know. So.
Brad, what was I gonna say? Two things. One, in Brussels, a martial arts teacher got arrested for being a burglar. So it's totally not the plot. Life after fighting in real life.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
what solar system did you pull that out of nowhere?
Brussels.
Because that's where Van Dam's from.
All right, so now we're all set. I am at all zeros. This episode total with all the previews is an hour and 15 minutes, so we will not be skipping anything. We're just
Fourth wants to know if he started yet. Does he have a link? Is that what he's asking?
I'm not giving that asshole a link.
Okay.
Where is he? Dude, aren't you on the Patreon? Is he on the Patreon? Hold on, let me baby him in. Jesus.
Brad, I did have something else for you. I did forget though. Fuck.
What's that?
I can't remember. It might come back to me. It must have not been important.
Yeah, sure it's gonna be when you finally say it.
What platform is Fourth even on any day? What did he not get kicked out of?
Why is he gotta get kicked out of stuff?
Because he got kicked off of Twitter. He got kicked off of Twitter, and I can't find him. Here he is. I couldn't find him on Instagram. Here. I sent you the link. Here's hoping you don't click on it. But hey, here you go.
Because I'm at the HBO logo. That's where I got to set up at.
I'm at all zero. So where am I at?
Yeah, because
that's where I'm at. HBO original. All right. Spidey, since you like to fuck around with me when I do it, you're gonna do the countdown.
All right, dude. 3, 2. Are we ready, guys? No, just fuck with you. 3, 2, 1, go.
You wish to serve the great.
Yep.
Hold on. Let me fix my sound.
Yeah, it's an enjoyable show.
Yeah, I agree. All right,
there we go.
I can watch it with you guys without being so upset. You guys talking during the show because I watched the show. Yeah.
Actually, I'm probably going to zip in and out because this is my first time seeing it, so I have not seen it at all.
All right. Like I said, I'll lay off of the actual factuals until we get to the end. That way, you can.
Okay.
Are we gonna have a little discussion about it, William, at the end? It's only about an hour episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, about maybe 20, 30 minutes.
Oh God! Please don't say it's not like the comic books.
No, I like it. It's good stuff, man. I'm talking
I'm
about
looking
more
forward
the
to
framing
Doom
of the show.
Prophecy.
Yeah,
I'm
I
really
am
looking
too.
forward to Doom Prophecy.
I hope I think the quality of this Penguin show is fairly high, so I hope the Doom show has a
Well, it's
fairly
a
high
Sunday
quality.
night show, so it'll be on. They don't mess around with their Sunday night show.
It seems they're taking your
Aaron.
advice, William.
No, Aaron says, "Good day, William, Brad, and Vince. Everyone in the chat. Sorry, I don't know where to watch the show from here in Australia. I hope you all enjoy the episode. Yeah, apparently there's something in the way in Australia.
She doesn't have a
I
way
had
in.
to. I had to. Come on. Yeah, I
So
don't get that. It's
you
like
notice this? You notice this part, William? They're kind of like
I'm telling you guys, it's like I listened to probably when the movie was coming out. I probably listened to more Nirvana in that month leading up to it than like 3 years prior.
Well, you said they took my. They listened to me, Clint.
Yeah, they're putting good shows on one right after the other.
Yeah, yeah. Keep that. Yeah, don't give people a chance to unsubscribe.
what's going on, fourth?
By the way, Aaron, you may know that we got some Avatar news today. We got the announcement of Toph season 2. It's very welcome news from Geek Week, Netflix. We even got a little bit of a teaser for it too.
Okay.
Does
it have to do with a bet? Does it have to do with a bet in a Penguin?
It's fantasy, so.
And I believe HBO Max is taking my advice because I was the one who preemptively gave the complaint about the barren wasteland of shows that were occupying entertainment space.
It's kind of crazy actually to think that it's been as long as it has since the movie came out, and we're finally now. Of course, I mean Matt Reeves, infamously takes an eternity to get anything done, and there's the company itself is in complete turmoil as always, but still like. These kind of things you would think that like a spin-off show would be like within a year, and it's been a
you also had the Batman came out in 22. The writer's strike was out in 23.
Yeah,
and then he didn't even.
Well, congratulations, Forth, for taking credit on the internet chat channel. Congratulations, buddy. You were
really your ass tonight, boy.
I'm here all day.
William, what does? You know how they kind of lift a few things from here and there. So they just mentioned Alberto Falcone, right? And if the analog for the last movie was partially the Long Halloween, what does Alberto Falcone remind you of at least?
Hush.
There's a couple of different things.
What happened after? What's the story that takes place a year or a few days or a few months after Long Halloween, William?
Hush? No.
Hush wasn't written for almost like 9 years after Dark Victory or Long Halloween. Oh, Dark Victory. I'm sorry, I said the name. Dark Victory is the sequel to Long Halloween.
I would have been guessing. I don't even have Dark Victory in the store.
They
go to Long Halloween and nobody wants to go.
Hey,
I get you.
I don't know why, but it's like.
What's up, Taladia?
You didn't get the message before, huh?
Something else I thought I kind of ask everybody because it's as far as the Penguin, because his visual representation, he's kind of on two ends of the spectrum. He's basically either really skinny or fairly robust. So
I think he's right on time, Brad. I think this is what a lot of people would envision seeing the Penguin. Maybe the aesthetics are a little different, but he's got the Penguin down. I think this motherfucker did a great job in the movie and everything.
Oh yeah, I agree. But I just kind of wonder if anybody had like a preference either way.
The Arkham Knight Penguin to me is the perfect Penguin, but this is a close second. So, I mean, there's a few good Penguins to be honest with you, though.
Yeah, I mean Danny DeVito, obviously. So
the horrible guy.
Oh, he was not a horrible Penguin. What are you talking about?
There's Steve Lombard.
Some sewer looking thing like.
I have no idea about.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's like, hey, so he bit a dude's nose off.
I have no idea what a proper comic book Penguin is, but I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah. I did too. They, in fact, was this up for? If it wasn't, it should have been up for best makeup. You know, the makeup for Farrell as the Penguin. Because I mean, I would not know this is Colin Farrell if you didn't tell me.
Enjoy this scene, William. Take it in. Enjoy it.
Feels like this guy's playing Colin Farrell.
By the way, I don't think I asked William this for anybody at the panel, but I mean, is anybody? They are swearing up and down Batman makes no appearance at all in the show now. How now? Are you think they're being misleading there? They're pulling us a surprise, or do you think they might be like half truthful there and saying, "Yeah, Batman does appear, but we never say anything about Bruce Wayne"?
He said the artist said Batman or Bruce wasn't in, but why would they give away their whole show before it even came out? So who knows?
But again, it's like it's not uncommon for. I'm not saying that he's definitely in the show, despite their claims, but it's just not uncommon for twists or cameos to be.
Maybe they just don't want to have the disappointing end of the Gotham show where Batman came out in the taped up suit that looked ridiculous.
Oh, that has got to be the worst like live action bat suit of all time.
That was like
I don't know what you call it. If you're not in a bat ass cheeks and bat nipples, you might not like.
No, man. I'm sorry. At least that looks like professional as far as like
I guess
Batman. I mean that it was clearly so. I mean every other bat suit at least has like the appearance of armor. Yeah. It has the appearance of being tactical. It has the appearance of being like something that he would actually try to construct either for like defensive purposes or fighting purposes.
They put a 15-year-old in a bat suit and called him Batman with no symbol on it.
I'm not the biggest fan of Batman in armor. I like the ninja-esque Batman that's not deflecting bullets.
My favorite like suit overall is the BVS suit, because I just love the Dark Knight Returns suit, and of course if you give me my choice for the ears, I definitely prefer the nubs because
Brad likes bat nipples.
Stop it. But yeah, and again, it took a while for the Pattinson suit to kind of grow on me. But it's once I saw the movie, or even once we got closer to the movie, I kind of realized the idea what he was going for is that again, he's year 2, he's still very fresh, so it's meant to be, for lack of a better term, like look homemade. So it fits in that world very well. So yeah, the Gotham suit is like what I mean. You guys, how they were for what 5 seasons, and it's like 5 years. This is the best you guys can come up with.
Brad, it was an entire show about when Batman gets up, he's going to beat up geriatric bad guys because they're all in their 40s when he's a little kid running around being criminals in Gotham.
I mean, William, say what you will about Smallville, they got like an actual Superman suit. Yeah, they got the return suit on there,
but it was CGI'd. That's the problem.
You talking about when you did the shirt rip and the cape and all that?
Yeah, it was CGI'd. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's like at least it was an actual iteration of the suit. They had a press, and I always loved the return suit, even though I'm not that crazy about the movie. It's like the suit is actually very good.
That's Salvatore Maroni is the rival gang of the Falcones, the Maronis.
Yep.
He's explaining that Salvatore Maroni's ring. If you saw the Batman movie, Carmine Falcone I call him Falcone. Carmine Falcone had that ring, so they're going over that.
Yeah. By the way, with the raining in the background there in the windows. And by the way, can I get a timestamp for you guys? Just see we're all in sync.
Right where you on 9 minutes and 44 seconds.
Okay, then we're all synced up. Yeah, so with the rain in the background, the window, one of the things, because I saw it with Ashley when it came out, and when we were joking, she joked that like this version of Gotham is basically Seattle because it rains like 320 days out of the year in this version of Gotham.
Yo, Aztec, I didn't hate the Batman suit from the 2022 movie. I thought that was a good kind of different thing they did with the cowl and the collar thing. Because they really don't get a lot of suits where he can turn his head the right way. Yeah. So it was cool they tried to do it differently.
Yeah, it took a little bit. It took a minute for it to grow on me, but it did by the time the movie came out.
Even though they did a different approach to it, I felt like the BVS version compared to the Batman is more better, in my opinion.
Of course.
Yeah, the Justice League version is the worst one.
Oh man, no, Justice League one is awesome. Well, you're talking about because there's multiple Justice League versions. There's
Actually,
the
I don't like any of the
some
suits of Justice
the
League.
somewhat modified BVS one in jail, and then there's the tactical suit, which that's basically the Arkham Knight suit.
Hey,
The
Rational,
Night
did
Owl.
you get her a way to watch? Because I was going to work on that if you didn't. Let me know.
Vince is streaming it on the Discord.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like from the neck down, I like the Justice League suit, but that cowl is just frustrating.
I mean, the way that the ears kind of ran into the forehead in Justice League, it's that I leaned a little bit more towards the ears in BVS, but again, it wasn't enough to like destroy the cowl for me at all. It's just like
That's
a
where you get,
slight kind of preference.
It just has like weird angles to me. That's why he looks so weird in the Flash.
The one that really, and William will love hearing this. The one that I actually kind of never, as much as I like the show, much to William's dismay, but the one that I always had the hardest time actually kind of getting on was Batman the Animated Series, because something about the ears like had being almost like shark fins, the way they're like sort of.
Brad, are you willing to start this war with me on stream? I'm just fucking with you.
But really, like the way the ears are kind of angled. I mean, I get the idea. Maybe they're going for like an aerodynamic thing, but it's like that can I never quite got on with the ears that way. So, William, I think it's also fair to ask, like, how much of a role did Colin Farrell's performance as Bullseye undoubtedly play in him becoming the Penguin? That had to have been 100%.
I'm not William, but that's kind of what made me not want to hear about him being the Penguin. But he definitely earned shut up for me on that, because he killed it, dude. He's a fucking great Penguin, dude.
I actually thought they could have done they could have more or less done the Bullseye. See if they get, because he has that beanie at the beginning. So if they just like put the Bullseye into the beanie and had him wear the beanie,
a scar, or was it a brand in his forehead?
They could have made a better movie, is what they could have.
Yeah,
done.
for sure.
No, it's not. Nah, Daredevil's like again, it's not.
Brad just watched the show and then watched the movie.
I've been very clear when I say which version of Daredevil is the better one. I'm just saying the movie's not as bad as people make it out to be, especially the director's cut. It's something about Ben Affleck, the superhero movies, they always have a superior director's cut.
So William, it was just a little callback to Dark Victory. It's definitely not, because this is Alberto's in the body bag right now. You know what I mean? But I like what they did with this. I like their Gotham. I like how their Gotham is. You mentioned sometimes like it's like a character. I would tend to agree. It
was like Tony Soprano, like 20 years later.
Rest in peace, Gandolfini.
That's actually the best. That's a compliment to the portrayal of him. You know, Tony's.
Yeah.
That is Alex from Marvel's The Runaways.
Okay. Oh, I'm sure. I don't know if you mentioned this, but we haven't done the Batman watch party on here. But in the fight at the train station at the beginning, the one kid that has his face half painted, the kind of the black kid in the background, he was Tim Drake.
Tim Drake on the show Titans.
So somebody's feed is coming through the stream.
Aaron,
I can hear the Batman playing, or the Penguin.
So have you found it in Australia?
What up?
Or are you just kind of along for the ride with us talking about it?
Yeah.
That's really weird.
The restaurant sent me a link to it.
Okay. Yeah, that's really weird to me. It's not like dropping in Australia at the same time it is, because I would think this would be like a worldwide kind of simultaneous thing.
That's Max's mismanagement. They're making up for that slowly, but there's still gaps in their coverage.
What's your timestamp?
We are at 15:27.
Yeah, 15:25 over here. Brad's got time dilation, so it'll start a few seconds later, but then he'll be like 10 minutes ahead of us at the end. He lives on fucking Saturn and shit, so time runs different.
So, Aaron, I heard a Australian slang today something about boffing a husband. We're not boffing a husband. Is that real? Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Aaron?
I guess it's
Sorry?
not.
He's asking about boffing a husband, whatever. That's Australian slang.
Is that kid friendly slang or what?
No, it's more like, what are you, an idiot?
None of boxing or what?
Yeah, I'm wondering, is this something Clint just made up?
Bojacking a horseman?
Well, there.
Don't ever say that on here again, man.
Well, there,
because
buddy.
Like
Little
bopping
Batman
a
trivia.
husband.
Little
What
Batman
are we, bopping
trivia.
a husband?
And I'm sure Taladia can kind of back me up on this. The beginning, they kind of showed the end result of what happened on the Batman. You see the flood walls go down.
Yeah.
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 In 0 year, New 52. So the origin story of Batman in New 52, the Riddler did, along with somebody else, the Riddler did flood Gotham City.
Yes,
And
he did.
Batman was out of commission actually for a full year, while the city was kind of like overgrown and shit was going crazy in it. So
It was full of grass, basically.
like a jungle.
Yeah.
Yes, and Aaron, like I said, and now I can say it again because William's not here. Yes, we got our Toph casting news today from Geek Week. We even got that little teaser for it. So, oh yes, bring it on. Bring it on with Avatar season 2.
Oh yes, I'm so excited.
Oh hell yeah! See, William can't get me on that. That's very martial arts, but it's also fantastical. So, I gotta inroads and do a watch party for that here.
Blame Brad.
Hashtag blame Brad. They bring up Burnley and Bristol, which are 2 areas in Gotham City. So they, along with the other Batman movie that this is connected to, they do a good job of trying to like make Gotham City in the background without, overdoing it.
This is the Gotham I always wanted to see. It feels like Gotham is very
Yeah.
well realized in both the Batman and on the show here. And again, like I was saying, we came out of the movie 2 years ago thinking it's like, we were joking like, this version of Gotham, it's like Seattle because it's
looks like Kensington right now.
And where did they film it? I think they filmed in the film in Glasgow.
I believe you're right. Yeah.
Oh, that was pleasant there, Spider-Man. We really needed to hear that. Benadryl's your friend, Spidey. Yeah. Benadryl's your friend.
Why did Nolan change Gotham? Batman makes it. Are you talking about from Begins to Dark Knight? I don't think he changed it much. I think it's pretty consistent through the whole series.
People say it's Chicago in the second movie, and the third movie it's Pittsburgh. That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah.
No, but it's the same
third
location.
Movie, the third movie maybe you see a little bit more of that because you see like the bridges and the a little bit much more of the coastal kind of positioning of it.
But it felt like it was in this. But it felt like it was in the same location, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was filmed in both of those cities, Taladia. It's primarily filmed in Chicago in the second movie, and in the third movie, it's Chicago and it's Pittsburgh, but a lot of Pittsburgh identity is in there because of the Gotham Knights football field. Obviously, the Pittsburgh Steelers are in it as the Gotham Knights, and then there's, I guess, landmarks that are shown, or I guess familiar to people that have lived there. This woman is from True Detective season 3 and a show called Lovecraft Country with Jonathan Majors. She's an HBO player.
Like on the Discord right now, we're kind of behind because we're like,
gotcha.
Penguin is driving in that car currently.
Gotcha. So you're about a minute or two behind.
Yeah.
Although the Runaway show had 15%, probably a 15% of the budget of Moon Knight, Brad, it was a far better show.
Yeah,
So this kid was the main character on that show. He killed it on that show. If you
yeah.
ever get a
Moon
chance to
Knight.
watch it.
I got into that. I started
It's
getting into that. It just didn't really hold me.
They get a couple of things about it, right or whatever, but they do what they want to do, and he's got 3 personalities, and the best personality in the whole story you don't even see it.
What's that, Aaron?
So how far along are you in minutes?
I am at 21 minutes.
They should be at around like a fire talking to one another,
Sure.
Aaron.
I think all the critics for the show only got the first 5 episodes, so
Well, it's supposed to be 8, right?
yeah. So
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody would know for sure if there are any cameos after.
Which that's not uncommon. To, when I can speak from personal experience. It's not uncommon for them to for anything episodic. They won't necessarily send you the whole show. Although they did for William and I, we got the Twilight of the Gods screeners. We got all 8 of those. So I'm not going to stop. Gotta brag about that. I always do when I get screeners.
Jared already binged the whole thing already, and I'm like, dude, I haven't even seen it yet.
Shit's great, Taladia.
Yeah, he told me great things.
Oh yeah.
Hey everyone, have you heard Brad's a journalist?
No, it's my first time.
It's actually, man, it's like, it's funny you should mention that too, because right after I got us the Twilight of the Gods screeners, it was by the time this occurred to me, it was too close to the show for me to do this, because I knew it was just gonna be right around the corner. But I started thinking, damn it, I should have reached out and got us the Penguin screeners. We still could have done these watch parties, but William and I, we could have been kind of on the journey a little bit to kind of share our thoughts early on.
It's good seeing you here, William. I think a lot of this episode is really good. He's a good penguin. He's very has got a lot of gravitas, as they say, right? So you definitely got your eyes on the screen when you see him.
Now, what's Matt Reeves like? He's an executive producer. Really, what's his full role with the show? Is he the showrunner, or is he just kind of like
not sure?
Kind of wrote like the general sort of outline for it? Because I don't think he directed any episodes, unless I missed something. And by the way, I thought I'd go ahead and ask everybody also. This has caused a little bit of a stir, but the whole thing about they're within the context of the franchise, he's being called Oz Cobb and not Oswald Cobblepot, and that actually caused a lot more consternation than I would have thought. So I'm kind of wondering,
that's because people have too much time in their hand and no direction to use brain power.
I think it's like, even like in the movie, it was very upfront. I mean, his first line when Batman's beating up the guys in the iceberg lounge, say, "Hey, I'm Oz." So they already.
I think it's the Cobb part, because it's the full last name's Cobblepot, and I guess Matt Reeves thinks. I guess the idea is that sounds ridiculous, Brad. So
he was trying to keep it grounded.
Well, I think also because the whole the Penguin traditionally is portrayed as again like a high society figure, and this version of the Penguin is what's the word I'm looking for? He's not as groomed maybe as the Penguin usually tends to be. Although even that we've seen before.
Sometimes they come from high society, and sometimes he's high society fraud, which they never were high society. His criminal enterprise makes him want to fit in. So there's different iterations, right?
Yeah.
But like
according to the. Oh, sorry.
So this iteration of the Penguin, right? If you were just going off of this one, that would align more with the version. There are versions of Oswald Cobblepot that are like that, and then once he gets into the money, he wants to make it look like he always had old money, or once he gets influence, he wants to make it seem like he was always on that level, because he doesn't get that kind of respect. I don't know what this show is going to do with it, but they definitely have had the fake it till you make it or whatever version. Go ahead, Clint.
This one seems to me like he's a captain in a mob.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Not quite the top guy, but not so low that he's
he's on the come up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why I enjoy this a lot too. It's got that where you're told the Dark Knight has the mob feeling. This really does have the mob feeling, and even the first one had a little bit more of it. So.
We've seen.
They dealt in the same characters, right? I mean, at least Batman Begins, you have Falcone in the first one and Maroni in the second one. So
this one, the Batman and this whole general franchise is really the one that's done the most to emphasize the detective aspect. And they've all had detective and organized crime elements, in varying degrees of prominence, but it hasn't been. This is the first one to really put it, very much at the heart of the movie and the show and the whole franchise.
Well, what I was thinking when I was watching this is,
oh God, that foot is what
that's
the hell?
why he's got the penguin waddle, right? And it kind of resembles like a like the flapper, right?
We're gonna get the origin story on that foot.
Yeah, you gotta watch the movie.
Teach her my French flipper trick.
Damn it.
No, really, that foot is like that. I mean, that's like, dude, you go to the emergency room when your foot looks like that.
Not if you're born with it.
That's a good
You
shot.
remember what was it? Where he had the black foot. Was that Little Nicky? Or was that anger management? When he had the black foot. That was the anger management, right?
Yeah, I think
with Adam Sandler when he had the black foot.
Yeah,
because of the head.
I'm back right now, like just now, we're talking about Adam Sandler on a Batman show.
So this takes place a week after the other movie does, right?
Yeah. So this is right after the ending with the city flooded, and
in the context of the movie, the success, he just killed the successor of Carmine earlier in this episode, right? So this is still his job, his operation. So as of right now, it appears that nobody's wise to Alberto being gone. It appears, right? Because everything is still running.
How many? I'm trying to think of how many like live action takes on the Penguin have we seen? So we saw Burgess Meredith, Danny DeVito. Who was it on Gotham?
Yeah,
it was
Gotham. The skinnier guy.
It was Robin Lord Taylor, and now Colin Farrell. So it's like 4 live action takes on the Penguin so far.
You're sleeping on Nolan North's Penguin, man.
Would the mob be multicultural?
The Falcone family is those are their runners, I guess. I don't know. Gotham City has a different history than the rest of the United States, apparently.
I'm glad the episodes are going to be on a Sunday than on a Friday or Thursday.
Oh, so that's when the rest of the episodes are going to be. They're going to be on Sundays now.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one's going to be this Sunday.
No, next Sunday.
Oh, okay. Okay. I see. Yeah, I'm pulling up right now the schedule. Okay, next one is the 29th.
Oh, sure.
And they run until November 10th. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of that's something you would think, scheduling wise, it's something you would see like in the 90s or early 2000s on like basic cable. Like ABC and things like that would have their prime shows on like Sunday night. That's good. Yeah.
And then
right
the
after
Dune series starts in November too.
Then what? Start? Oh, Dune, Chris. Okay. Well, I mean, you gotta wrap up the Penguin by then because you can't have something in the way. I'm gonna keep this up all night, guys.
Oh my God. Batman listening to Nirvana is the biggest travesty against Batman.
Oh, come on, man.
Nirvana is cool in real life, but Batman listening to Nirvana.
That's actually one way I kind of, as far as like demarcating Pattinson's Batman from every other iteration, because he got the nickname Battinson. My nickname I gave to him was Bruce Cobain because Matt Reeves has explicitly said he modeled him on Kurt Cobain.
My point exactly.
Wow, Forth. Not only are you the diviner of should run movies right after each other, you are a diviner of what's cool or not. Wow, I'm in the presence.
Get yourself a big paper and pen, Clint. Lombard.
Yeah, Steve Lombard is
yes,
VD. Biddy.
Yep, from Man of Steel. He's not the only. By the way, there's also Mark Strong. So Michael Kelly and
Yeah.
Mark Strong. There's because one thing I've said, and I've even written on this at various points, is that DC they are a lot bigger on legacy casting than Marvel is, because you see that happen all the time where actors who played one DC character, although they'll come back and in a different show or project or what have you in a different role. So, and that's you could probably do a pretty extensive breakdown on how many who have done that. Michael Kelly, as you see right here, is Lombard and Man of Steel, and now here on the Penguin.
Also, what's it called?
Oh, by the way, we're getting multiple F bombs here. It's like,
Yeah, I treat it like it's rated R movie.
Yeah. Well, no. The
pretty
Batman
decent
came. I loved that it came right out of the gate. It's like, happy fucking Halloween.
Well,
That's
they
another
showed
thing.
half a set of kids in this already.
That's another thing, by the way, too. I've always said, and this, I mean, it's not like a rivalry thing, but it's like if you talk about like different DC Marvel differences, one thing is like DC, it's like we get our F bombs, man. We get them good. We get them early on. It's like Marvel, they waited like 25 movies in to get us like a casual, like open the bachelor side door, like open the fucking door. Yeah, we get our F bombs early in DC.
Which I think
That's
is
if you
cool though, to drop the F bombs here and there. So
Yeah.
That's if you get a DC movie at all.
Oh, stop opening old wounds, man. Kurt Cobain was a big. I was not aware of that.
Most of the DC F bombs take place outside the movie with the audience.
Oh God. we got Batman F bombing in the Nightmare. So
Vanessa.
A reminder that in the Batman movie, Arkham is his mother's family, is Bruce's mother's family. So she's a product of the Arkhams, and obviously the Wayne. He's Thomas Wayne's son and product of the Waynes. Arkham has a different kind of connection to Batman in this.
You're talking about the
normal.
You're talking about the Canes.
No, they call her they're the Arkhams they're called the Arkhams in the other movie. They're not the Canes. I know what you mean. Like Batman's cousins are the Canes in the comics, but in the continuity of these movies, Martha is descended from the Arkhams. So Bruce
Okay.
should inherit Arkham Asylum.
well, in a manner,
It's not the
Oh.
Amadeus
Okay.
story from the
guess.
comics.
Because everybody on Martha's side, which is Bruce's mum's side, is all Canes,
Yep.
and that's where you get
Kathy Kane and Kate
Bruce's
Kane.
uncle, uncle who is the father to Kate Kane, which is the
It's
Batwoman,
Batwoman, yeah.
Second Batwoman.
And-
Kathy Kane's
and
the
he's-
first Batwoman.
and his cousin and everything. Yeah.
I never really got. I started on that show.
And,
I just
and
never-
as a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, all the Canes, they're all like Jewish.
Okay.
So it pretty much makes Bruce Wayne Jewish because through Jewish law, right? Jewish blood runs through a Jewish woman, so it makes Batman Jewish, a Jewish superhero.
Well, I mean, Bob Kane also was. So you look back on like the early history of comic book creators. There's actually a lot of Siegel and Schuster and Bob Kane and Stan Lee. There were a lot of
Ditko.
Jewish figures. Yeah, Ditko also.
Jack Kirby.
Listening to William and all you guys, it seems like Batman's not really a hero. He's more of just kind of
A guy that goes and beats up psychopaths.
Yeah.
In the middle page all the night.
Yeah, just not a hero.
He's a rich guy that beats up on small crime instead of fixing the problems of the city with his wealth. Yes, people have made that argument. There's an entire book called The White Knight.
I actually like
Joker
that.
is winning popular support based on that idea.
I actually like that the Flash in the in the lasso scene actually kind of does it addresses like how like ridiculous that idea is that he could single-handedly clean up Gotham just by throwing money at it.
Well, that's the plot point of Batman Begins, right? That the Waynes were on the way of doing that, but they were assassinated in the alley after the opera.
Yeah.
Well, also in the Batman, they were throwing money at the problem. That was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Bruce wasn't paying attention. The Falcones were siphoning off all the money off of that. Exactly, Clint.
But I think, you know what, we'll get Kane in the DCU anyway with Brave and the Bold. So
yeah, I never got. I got a little bit into the show. I just never really. It just didn't pull me in. Yeah,
I got
the
some new
Batwoman
52
show.
trivia for Taladia. Where did Kathy Kane end up anyways after it was all done? So Kate Kane was Batwoman in New 52, but we know Kathy Kane is a New 52. What came of Kathy Kane in New 52, Taladia? I know you know the answer.
No, I don't, honestly.
She ran Spiral, which, you know, after Dick faked his death, he was Agent 37.
Oh, she was.
Yeah, she was in charge of Spiral.
Yeah, head of Spiral.
I watched the first season of Batwoman on the
Mhm.
CW. CW, it was pretty good, but the other seasons I just couldn't watch it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not sure if Illinois William CW talk. Yeah, it just didn't pull me in for whatever reason. It wasn't even that it was like I thought it was lacking. It's just that for it just didn't hook me. And don't get me wrong, it's like it's got like
it went in a really bad direction. Bad direction.
It takes a hard turn,
especially after how they treated Ruby Rose.
Yes, that was bad too. But as far my big ones from the network, of course, are Smallville and Superman and Lois as far as the shows. So
speaking of CW, notice how the quality of this show is not CW and almost movie quality. Disney should take notes because all of Disney shows don't look shit like a movie. I'll give you the first 10 minutes of the Loki show and that's it.
God, She-Hulk.
They put so much money in their shit and it looks so fucking cheap.
Oh yeah, She-Hulk. God, She-Hulk was bad.
It was.
I'm just saying, even if when the shows are good, they don't look as good as movies. I'm just talking about the actual visual veneer of it all, not even whether the content is good or not.
No, yeah,
considering their budgets.
No, this does look very cinematic.
They have way more money to be thrown at the shit, and it looks like shit.
Yeah,
well, that Obi-Wan show was so bad. It should have. Well,
that's why Superman and Lois it just blows me away. Like how on a TV budget that looks as cinematic as it does, and is the scale that it does.
And as bad as it was, and as it wasn't, even the Gotham Knight show was a pretty decent quality show. Again, quality looking, like film quality looking, not content or story or any of that. Just Titans kind of looked good too. It wasn't amazing, but it kind of looked good. Yeah. Ant-Man looked really good.
Titans got a lot better when HBO, I think, took over the production of it.
We're talking about how the production quality of the Penguin it's not it's very cinematic. This looks more what you associate. It basically looks like the Batman. It looks like
everything that you're ever going to see that's going to end up on a Sunday night is always going to be cinematic quality with HBO.
Yeah, I got high hopes for the Dune Prophecy. I'm hoping that
anything if they won't put it on Sunday night unless they're investing in it. All right, so she knows she's not stupid. She knows.
You got the way they tell the story though, William. You'll see. They do this good, William. I think you'll fuck with it. I think you really like it.
I'm already hooked on this show, and it's only been half hour in.
That's the other thing too, because you're kind of comparing it to both Marvel, Disney, and the CW shows. Is that well, CW they do lengthwise, they do more akin to this, but like Marvel on Disney Plus, they've always, and even Star Wars on Disney Plus, they've kind of kept it at like half an hour or so, like with each episode. And this is like I'm assuming the subsequent episodes are
once again
length.
Everything that they put on
is going to be an hour long.
Everything that they put on Sunday nights will be minimum 50 minutes, 48 minutes. Mostly, if you look at every show that's ever been a Sunday night HBO show, it's consistently been a certain, yep. So yeah, this is the difference. That's what I mean by HBO, and not and always using HBO in your trademarking and everything else, because HBO has a standard.
Well, this even had the HBO logo right at the beginning with
because it's on HBO. Yeah, it's on
HBO. But still, it's like it's on Max too, and the whole brilliant decision to take HBO out of that.
That's.
Yeah.
Well, Max.
Go ahead, Claire.
Max is kind of like the overarching, because they have Discovery Plus shows on Max now.
Yeah,
but
that's what they're. I totally agree with you, William. It's not a great idea, but that's why they did it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like a reason why.
I hope they change it back.
When they get sold again, I hope that's one thing the new owners do is they rebrand it back to HBO Max.
Hopes be high, but reality shows make them a lot of money, and that's
but they don't have to be under Max. They can still have it under their umbrella. I never agreed with pushing Max together.
I understand that. I'm against it too, but it's
the demographics are not the same. The people, it's not the same. But hey.
Hey, so I was going to ask you, William, is this character Vic, is he in any Batman comics that you know of? Is he like an underling, or is he a different character in Gotham as far as you know?
I don't recall.
Okay.
So this could be like a totally original character.
Yeah, I think he's an original character as far as I'm aware.
You gotta run shit by William sometimes, because he does know the guy can pull all the comics pages right out of his head. So you gotta.
That's actually I
William's the comic Wikipedia.
Well, he runs a comic book store, so.
Right.
That's something I do appreciate in a adaptation, is because we're going and expecting to see the characters on the page, and not to say I don't want to see that, but also when they can add like your original characters and just to kind of who might have some kind of like larger impact on the overall canon. That's always something I find kind of like a nice added bonus. Like one of my favorites in Batman lore, as far as like original characters that made cinematic, is Max Schreck out of Batman Returns, because he's much more so the villain of that than the Penguin or
he's the manipulator.
Yeah, well, he's a psychopath.
And he's a straight up murderer. Yep.
Yeah.
And
oh, and he's got a sense of humor about it too. Well, he's got a sense of humor about it too. When he's about to push Celine out of the window, it's like, huh? And then he really does shove her.
I agree with you there, Brad. I'm watching Rings of Power, and I know what all the characters are going to do in this show, but it's fun to watch them how they're manipulating them in the show differently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually kind of surprised they never tried to work Max Schreck into the comics at any point.
You watch, not watch, but if you read the 789 universe, Max Schreck is in it.
Oh, okay.
So they have what's Superman 78 and Batman 89 have continuing adventures in DC Comics, and it's actually more recent. I think it started in like 2016 or 2018.
I've read 78. I don't think I've read 89. I've read all of 89, I should say. But even that's a little bit, because he gets fried at the end of Returns. So like, how is he back?
You guys say Max Schreck, I'm thinking Max Headroom guy.
Vic,
that guy was on an episode of Deep Space Nine, the Max Headroom guy.
Vince said that Vic is an original character for the show.
Okay.
And Azteca Aguilar pointed out that Vic's last name is Aguilar.
By the way, another thing I thought I'd kind of ask everybody too is like Farrell's voice as the Penguin, because the Penguin voice is it's had a lot of different iterations, and he is definitely the one who like plays it up. He's the most East Coast by far. I think like live, really even any like live action animated Penguin I've seen, he's the one who really kind of gives like the East Coast sort of angle to the Penguin, and kind of where his name is because that I admit that actually kind of maybe it's like
when you were mentioning the high society aspect before. There's different times where he'll either speak in a more reserved manner, or like in the case of the Arkham games and other things like that, he'll put on a fake British accent to give the facade that he belongs elsewhere, that he's not from Gotham, New Jersey, right? So,
you know what it is?
What's
It's more of a cross-Atlantic accent of the past. You know how a lot of American actors used to put on these cross-Atlantic type made-up like accent.
Yeah, that transatlantic one. Yeah,
it's very 40s sounding.
So pay attention to this scene right here, right? This is a little theory I got. We saw the Iceberg Lounge in the last movie, and we've seen it destroyed, right? That's where he killed Alberto Falcone. But traditionally, the Iceberg Lounge looks like a cabaret, like what he's watching on the television. So I think that him seeing this is going to motivate him to change the Iceberg Lounge into a place that looks like what he's watching on TV.
Yeah, I can see that. Because in the movie it looks very modern.
It's a nightclub. It
looks like a modern nightclub. Yeah, it's got strobe lights. It looks
the same as the nightclub from The Dark Knight when Batman goes and fucks.
Exactly. It's almost like they got a rave going on when Batman's going and beating the guards up.
You see what I'm saying though, William? How he's watching that cabaret on television, and that's normally how the traditional Iceberg Lounge looks in the comics and shit, right?
Well, it seems like a pretty interesting kind of character thing, because like when you saw that lounge in the Batman, like what were they playing in there? Techno, but it feels like
but it wasn't his operation. He wasn't the boss. Yeah,
right. Yeah. It feels like Penguin wants to bring a little class back to it. This way,
that's what I'm saying.
The city is sorely missing.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
He took the Joker's words to heart from The Dark Knight. This city deserves a better class.
Criminal. I'm gonna get it to him. Yeah, I like where you're going with this. I could definitely see them. I can almost see like maybe the show ending with him like refurbishing the Iceberg
on the top of the crime game of Gotham. Well,
the
top three gangs in Gotham City are the Joker's gang, the Penguin's gang, and Two-Face's gang, right? So that fits perfectly.
But Spidey, he'll make the Penguin will make the Iceberg Lounge in his image. You know how in Batman Arkham City, similar like how it was in Batman Arkham City, just similar to that.
Where there's little icebergs in the middle of the lounge, right?
Yeah.
By the way, everybody go back and watch that fight.
Might catch Batman singing "In My Blue." Who knows? Maybe Pattinson will sing "In My Blue."
Go back and watch that fight scene too, there, because a lot of people have noted the meta touch of Batman throwing a bat at one of the guards.
I don't think he's trying to be classy, because in this universe, anyways, because he's all a drug dealer. He's running a drug dealing thing.
Do you remember earlier in the episode? And I think you're absolutely right, Clint. But do you remember earlier in the episode when he was trying to give the example of what respect is to Alberto, but Alberto laughed it off. But he did say, "Isn't that kind of your dream? Isn't that what you want?" So I think that you're right, but I think that he's gonna. Obviously, you got to rise above being a drug dealer in Gotham City to elevate this. Again, I'm sorry. My way I look at it is the Batman is now showing the Batman that came out before this is showing the decline of the mob and the rise of the supervillains because of the appearance of Batman. So that's how I would interpret it. So I agree with you, but then I see him evolving. That's all.
Yeah, the more I think about this, Spidey, I actually think you were really onto something here with like the show is going to show him refurbishing the Iceberg Lounge, but give it that again the more classic look.
Best cameo of the whole fucking show, Brad. You want to talk about legacy characters? Fucking Lex Luthor and Sal Maroni, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, Clancy Brown has. I mean, he might have more DC like credits to his name than anybody, like any actor.
He was the bad guy in the first season of Punisher. But I'm sorry, Clint. Did you have a response? I know that we were kind of trailed off.
No, that was it. It just seems like he's a thug in this movie, and he always was a thug. And but I mean, he could be something different in the comic books or whatever. But I mean, in just this universe, he's a high level thug,
like a captain, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah,
I feel like that's who he is right now. I think, but at the height of his arc, he'll bring that, like, that how you were trying to say, like he wants to feel like old money, but he'll do that with like
the top hat and the monocle and
the rest of the society looks at him, they'll look down on him for his appearance and his demeanor. I mean, that's a possibility. We don't know because the shit's rolling right now.
Right.
But, by the way, you guys mentioned Clancy Brown, because like I said, he's as Spidey mentioned, he's voiced Lex Luthor on Superman the Animated Series, and also I believe he was also the same on Justice League.
Of course, yeah.
And
on his cameos on the Batman when he was
but obviously his greatest DC role of undeniably, of course, the voice of Parallax in the Green Lantern movie.
Oh my god! Don't bring that up.
There's probably more people watching this show right now than
watch that movie. All we need is John Noble now, right, Brad? And we'll have the trifecta.
Oh yeah. Listen, it's not great, but it's like I don't think it's as bad.
It's not good either.
Crapped on for. I mean, the problem really is it's kind of like a very generic sort of origin story. But
Vince says that's also Mr. Krabs on his SpongeBob.
Yeah, he's also. You talking about Clancy Brown?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's. I mean, well, of course, Highlander fans know him well as the Kurgan.
Oh.
He's just recently the Harbinger in John Wick Chapter 4.
He's Brink on Boys Gen V. He's the guy that runs the school, or he used to run the school till the first episode ends.
he was on both Daredevil and the Punisher as Ray Schoonover. I think he's the original character.
Yeah. He's like a great bad guy on that. He's the Punisher. He's the Punisher. He's the bad guy for the season 1 of the Punisher. He's excellent. Because I mean, part of it, he's the military aspect of it. Because that's a take on Punisher Max. If you've ever read Punisher Max, he's the general.
I'm gonna grab a couple more of his credits here. Well, I mean, we had a watch party with one of his greatest performances as a drill instructor Zim in Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
No, that really is. He really is awesome in that. He's like the most. Because
Brad, I want you to pay attention to how he ends this conversation with him, though.
Do you get me?
Check out the symbolism, and then keep that in mind for the rest of the episode. So Alberto Falcone had the ring that Carmine had, and it was explained that was Maroni's ring, and now.
Okay.
So he's explaining it.
Right, I do kind of see like a bit of a Sopranos influence too.
God, he does a hell of a job as fucking the Penguin, dude.
Yeah. You know what actually looks a lot like to me? It looks like the NFL championship ring in Ace Ventura for some reason. I don't know why, but it's like my mind flashed to that. Yeah, he should get more appreciation for his voicing Lex Luthor on Superman and Justice League.
Who underappreciates him as Lex Luthor? I think everybody knows.
I think
he's like the top.
I guess I don't know. Maybe it just has to get brought up. It's not so much like it's underrated. Maybe it's not brought up as much as maybe is what he's getting at.
Rax said he was Surtur in Thor Ragnarok, and I highly recommend watching Zack Snyder's Ragnarok because that shit was crazy.
Oh, we're going to this weekend. Believe you me. And he's so he's Thor Ragnarok too. Okay, so that means that definitely means the Green Lantern is not the worst comic movie he was in.
A matter of opinion, Brad. A matter of opinion. Which is worse, Thor 4 or Green Lantern? Let people make their own choice, man.
Oh no, that's like a matter of scientific fact. The Thor: Love and Thunder is worse.
I actually liked Thor: Love and Thunder, but whatever.
I enjoyed it.
You guys just saying that just annoy me, aren't you?
Yeah,
no.
Saying it.
You know what? It reminds that movie.
You're not allowed to have an opinion unless it's
cartoon.
Thor: Love and Thunder, Aaron? Yeah.
Remind me of a Saturday morning cartoon.
No, that's what the film junkie said.
Thor: Love and Thunder did have the all black Necro sword though, and that is definitely going to be Null's sword for that Venom movie. So I mean, I don't know if he's going to have that sword, but that sword's connected because Donny Cates wrote the Null thing, and Donny Cates has been on Thor for like 15 years or 12 years writing it. So
that's what the film junkie said. I remember in his review he did where he said it reminded him of it was like a 2-hour Saturday Night Live sketch.
Yeah, there's some silliness in the movie, but there's some cool things too.
Well, that's like saying
you guys
it's a little bit cool
you guys are focusing on the stupid humor part of it, but the story is, Thor just is losing his love of his life, and now he's found another love of his life.
Right now we're like watching this. These guys choke each other with a seatbelt. So
that's the same bus driver from Man of Steel.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah.
Talking about when the bump goes
into the wall.
No, continuity-wise. No, the continuity-wise, that's the same bus driver from Man of Steel. Between that job and this job, he actually worked that day the Joker robbed the bank when the field trip was happening on the Dark Knight.
Messing with us now.
He's just the DC bus driver, dude. He's the one that's always in the important parts.
He's not the guy at Cassie choice. He's saying, "Oh yeah, any DC movie that has like a school bus, this guy shows up." He's like the worst.
Something always fucking happens, right? A bunch of kids almost died if it weren't for Clark.
No, he is.
He was the greatest bank robbery in history, and now he's here just in time for the Penguin not to have to waste a bullet.
Aaron will appreciate this. You know what he is, Aaron? He's DC's Cabbage Man.
Oh. Did he have to wear like some sort of fat suit or something?
Yeah.
Don't tell me he put it all on.
No, this is a suit.
Yeah, it's
getting Austin Powers vibes right now.
Fat bastard.
Really?
Get into my belly.
Okay, that's a little over the top.
Fat bastard. Get in my belly.
I want my baby back.
He was eating his. No, that wasn't him. That was the other guy. I said the guy was eating his skin chips, but that was the movie after.
Like why is he naked though?
Because he's being tortured. She's explaining that every morning in Arkham Asylum they strip them naked, and so she's conveying
like psychological thing too.
Mm-hmm. Also, she's a fan of the Chief's torture from
as a woman,
Casino Royale.
Seriously, as a woman, why would you want to see that? All right. At least leave his underwear on.
Well, she's a woman in Gotham, so she's probably
she's literally an Arkham patient.
Okay, that's like at least the 8th F-bomb on this show. Oh wow, you guys are right. This is kind of fat bastard territory.
So is that woman in the comics?
Sophia Carmine is a character in the comics, yes.
Yeah, I believe it does. In the the hair is also very realistic. Yeah, she's trying to humiliate him.
Or Sophia Falcone. I'm sorry, I said Carmine. Carmine's the father's name. And in this story, that means she would be Catwoman's half sister, right? Clint, since Catwoman's Falcone's daughter.
I have no idea.
I just realized too. It's like, yeah, there it is. Well, it's kind of it because he was pulling that trick with the garrote wire on his armpits. But
what is it called?
Yeah, garrote wire.
Okay.
But also my mind kind of flashed back to that torture scene in Casino Royale.
That's what I was saying. She's a fan of the Lafitte style of torture from Casino Royale.
You freaking tenderizes nuts.
It's like piano wire.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's so thin it can choke you or it can slice you, but but you can't get a grip underneath of it to free yourself.
Like those little videos that you see on bloody X. Oh, this is how you get out of a chokehold from a car.
So when William gets back, I want to know what he thinks about how this was all handled at the end.
So 20-pound fish line will be
Say again, Clint?
Rottweiler. 20-pound fishing line.
I mean, I'm not recommending ways to kill anybody on the show, so that's all Clint, guys.
Be a shitty place to get sliced.
Right on the armpits, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No,
like you said, Brad said they got it in a spot where he can't easily reach it. Plus, it's not like he can fold his elbow and pick it up easily. He's a big boy, right?
Well,
so
also,
he's got the same mobility.
One of the best ways I've seen it used is in Lethal Weapon 4 when Jet Li has a fight scene on the rooftop with one of his henchmen, and he beats him up and he gets him around the neck with it.
You're the only other person I know that's actually seen Lethal Weapon 4. I like Lethal Weapon 4. I never hear anybody ever talk about it. They always talk about like 3 and 1, dude.
No, it's the one with Jet Li, so that automatically makes it the best.
No, I get it. So do you see they sent the body with the pinky cut off, and obviously everybody's aware of the ring scenario that I just brought up to you. So the Penguin is right now literally starting a war between the two top gangs.
Oh, and his bone is sticking out a little bit too. What you had something there?
It's a Payback.
Oh yeah, Payback. Yeah, another Mel Gibson movie.
Have you seen both versions of Payback? There's one that's drastic.
Yeah. Well, because that had a little bit of a Snyder Cut situation with it too. If you want, anybody wants to look that up. I think I've only seen the theatrical cut. But,
certain characters are completely removed from the other cut from the direct.
Yeah, they kind of. I swear, like his I swear his bone was sticking out a little bit from that pinky stump that they left.
Yeah. No. So did you catch that, William?
Catch what?
The gang war he just started.
The gang war and Fat Bastard. My belly.
With the he gave the ring to Maroney after he took it from Falcon or Alberto.
I see exactly what he's doing, and it's
that was cold. I like that.
Hold on, because I haven't.
It's been said a bunch of times, but damn, the makeup just looks so good. It's not even like you're watching a prosthetic character act like a human. Just
at all.
Like I said, I said if I wasn't aware going in, this is Colin Farrell, I would not have believed you if you told me.
Oh well, that's what they call Slurpees in Gotham. Slush puppies.
Aaron will be here all week, guys.
They're talking about slush puppies earlier on because as a way to relate to what part of town they're from, and Penguin was talking to him about like, did you mix the flavors when you were younger or whatever? And Vic said no, so this is the follow up to that, right? So he went and got him. He went and got him the mixed up version of the slush puppy in their part of town that they're both from.
How much, like the makeup and the prosthetics and all that? How much? How much do you think this adds? If as far as like if it were actual weight gain Colin Farrell did, I would say this adds at least 80 pounds.
How much temperature does it add?
Well, there's that too.
He hates it though.
Oh, he's talked about that, yeah. Ending. So what'd you think, on a Dolly Parton song?
I want more of it. I would,
man.
This is a mafia. This is a mafia show.
That does it a little bit better than the Nolan. Nolan gave you the mafia ambiance. This gives you the.
I don't even. I've already established that this what Nolan was trying, Matt Reeves did.
Is a compliment.
and it's just a skill set. She's great. Kristen Malloy, man, I wanted to choke the shit out of her, man. When she's just,
I think they both hit their respective goals.
They took the way she's portrayed in the comic at her worst, and they kind of gave you a glimpse of just how psycho she can be.
Yes.
And that's a perfect actress for this show so far is casted perfectly. Everybody that's in a role is perfectly cast. I'm just gonna watch the thing and make sure there was nothing at the end.
There's a preview for the next episode.
There should be like
Yeah.
Love this.
Yeah, he may hate putting on that makeup, but he loves buying his third new house.
I think it's in the over the credits ends with 9 to 5.
That's what Vic was laughing at him because when they got in his burner car or his backup car, that was playing loudly on there. So he turned it down all fast because it was embarrassing. So,
and I think it's actually there's like a preview of the next episode after the credits here.
They had it right after that part, but now I don't know. They might have separated it now that the episode's been out for a while. There's like 8 minutes left. There's a preview still. Yes,
there's a preview, like a behind-the-scenes interview.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff
DC
like that.
Studios logo and then a red Warner Brothers logo, which is.
I'm seeing. They see the trailer.
It still has the same the guy that did the music for the movie, and he's also the director of Werewolf by Night.
Oh, Giacchino.
Yeah. Vince wants that Batman connection, according to the chat.
Let's see, I can't be the
That
only
was
one.
a very good episode.
Yeah, definitely was. I feel that with how Batman becomes a mob show, I mean, quality's good without the connection is doing it for me, I guess. No, I mean, it's where you're talking about like doing a Batman villain centric show. It's it's kind of a. I don't think we were. This is probably the first example of that, where like other than maybe like the Joker movies, they've had like Batman villains that without Batman himself present. In fact, actually, I just realized too with this and Joker, DC is actually kind of doing what Sony does to Spider-Man villains now. Where it's like they're, but it's
except for everybody knows Batman villains.
Yeah, they haven't had their Madam Web yet.
You know what this reminds me of? A more grounded version of Gotham.
Yeah. And if Batman does show up, it'll have a better suit. That's for damn sure.
It's like I what I didn't really get at the end of Gotham is that he's still like a pseudo kid, and he's wearing a bat suit.
Well, he looks like a kid that's ready to go trick or treating.
The end of Gotham is supposed to be a time skip, but they use the same actor, so he does look like a kid. But it's supposed to be like, I guess, like 3 or 5 years after the last scene of the show.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be.
They actually changed the Catwoman actress, so there's an older actress like a few minutes apart. So you see the younger one, and then you see the older one, but he's still the same, so it kind of throws things off. And then Azteca. Gotham is formerly a mob city. Gotham was a mob city until the supervillains showed up, and then they had the supervillain gangs. Gotham is a supervillain city.
All right. I can't be the only one that feels without Batman it just becomes a mob show. That's the point. That is the point. Is to show you. Here's the problem. The only problem that Batman mythology really has is that everything is there as an accent to Batman. Everything is there as a compliment to Batman. And sometimes that limits you when it comes to movies. You can do that in a comic because 90% of the time it's on him. But when you're trying to show a rolling motion picture or a TV show, you need the things that prop up the atmosphere to be much stronger than they are in paper. That's where Nolan failed for me. That's where Nolan failed. I couldn't take seriously the atmosphere that he was putting him in as anything other than, that's Chicago. Here, you have a better understanding of what Batman is and what he's up against when you see it from the point of view before you even put him in. Because why do you need somebody like Batman if it's just all you're doing is putting everything else as garnish around the main course? Here, it's actually, the city is the character. And Matt Reeves is treating Gotham as a character. All the people who've ever written Batman right, whatever that's in the background is distracting. All the people who've ever written Batman right have figured that out. The Gotham and Dark Knight, there are swaths of Dark Knight where Batman's not even there. It's the city. It's the newscast. It's other
You're
villains.
talking about DKR. You're talking about DKR.
Yeah,
right?
Dark Knight Returns. Not the thing with its name on it. But when it's the Dark Knight Returns, when Frank Miller's telling that story, Batman's there, of course.
Even year one does it in a similar effect without the news, but it does a similar thing.
And he also does it with Daredevil. Frank Miller was the only one up to that point that made Hell's Kitchen as much a part of the story as you could take Daredevil. The point, if you're doing it right, you should be able to take that character out. Batman is not Gotham. Gotham is not Batman. It's a place where he lives in an atmosphere that he exists in. So it should be strong. So I would have to slightly disagree with you there.
I would have to say respectfully, I disagree with him. I think you missed the point of what Nolan was doing. He was trying to make it that it was our world, and that's how realistic it was, instead of changing, other places into Gotham.
He failed that. No, I understood what he was doing. I just don't think he executed it as good as Matt Reeves did. And I think
they're going for two separate ideas there.
I think they're going for the same thing because there's nothing outside of the Penguin or in the Batman that couldn't have happened in a real world that Nolan created. It just was executed better. That's just an opinion. Reeves executed it better than, and you could see the effect it had on their characters too. There's a direct correlation to how you view the Batman versus how you view how I view Christopher Nolan's Batman. Yeah. So it's just and I think, like I said, the aims are both very the same. One just did it better.
Bell Rev's in the chat, by the way.
Oh wow!
She gave it an 8 out of 10.
Oh wow! Okay, cool. I would give it an 8 out of 10. I have to watch it. Gives a lot of stuff. I was going in and out of the chat or in and out of the thing because this was my first time. So there's going to be some details I'll need to watch again of it. I really like it. I'm a mob movie guy. I mean, outside of serial killer and science fiction horror movies, my second favorite genre is mob movies, and really well done mob.
Well, then
mob
William,
stuff.
you should really be a fan of The Raid 2.
No, the Coast Initiative, not anything else.
William, what do you think of how the quality of the show kind of matches up with the quality of the film, as far as just like the?
It's what I expected.
It's 1-1.
Yeah, it's what I expected. If you're putting something on HBO on a Sunday night, which is what this is, there is no such thing as a low quality HBO. There may be shows that you may not like, but the quality, everything that is in that 6 p.m. Pacific or 9 p.m. Eastern timeline is cinematic quality. It is. They just don't. They will cut anything else. Like I said. Now the problem that they did, like with House of the Dragon, that's when you have a problem is when your company's so fucked up, you got to start cutting corners. They didn't do that here. This is probably done quicker, but they'll figure it out that when it comes to Sunday night, don't fuck around with that. It has to be cinematic quality because it is an established standard. You can't go from Sopranos, you can't go from Game of Thrones, you can't go from and then put out some Sesame Street shit. It has to be this level. So
they do have Sesame Street. HBO has Sesame Street now.
Yeah, but in that time slot, in that time slot, as a matter of fact, 5 years from now, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's going to be about, but whatever is in that 6 to 9 slot is going to be cinematic.
Lantern season 2, huh?
Yeah, if Lantern is in there, then expect Lanterns to be cinematic quality. They just won't do it any other way, because then people start questioning, are you the right people to do this? Because the standard's been set. So they really don't have much of a choice. What they did with House of the Dragon, they were rather cut 2 episodes off of it than decrease the value of each show. They would rather sacrifice episodes than quality. I still think, fucking find the money. I don't care.
A lot of that was kind of the writer's strike too, right, William? I mean,
oh no, a lot of it was budgetary as well. A lot of it was because a Game of Thrones show is immensely expensive per episode, but it means so much to your clientele.
Oh yeah, they were going anyways because it was being filmed overseas. It wasn't filmed in the United States. They were still going during the strike, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. So it got to the point where But like I said, this should show them, because once this hits on, this is high quality. This is high art.
This shit looks like a movie, and I'm appreciative like that.
And the story is true mob. That intrigue, that mob intrigue type of stuff that Sopranos was at times, especially the last year of Sopranos, where everybody was just you didn't know who was going to go, and everybody was aiming everybody. And Phil, who, like I said, spoiler alert, one of the best moments of fucking TV on Phil Turtle, when they whack Phil. Oh my goodness. At the gas station. I don't know if you guys watched Sopranos, but when I hated him from the moment I saw Phil, I'm like, when is this going to be his time? And I'm like, we're running out of time in the last episode. And I'm like, are they going to, please don't tell me Phil's going to be the ones to make it out of here alive. And he does it. And it's like, I watched that death scene over and over again. They get him point blank. He's getting his meds from somewhere. He's talking to his wife. Full rolls up with the gun. All you see is the 9 on the side. Bam, right in the head. Guy puts 3 more of them in the chest. The car rolls over his head and crushes his head. And there's teenagers watching, and it grosses them out. They throw up. It's beautiful. And they made you hate Phil, because Phil is a piece of shit. Phil was an absolute piece of shit. And when he killed, I forgot who he killed, the gay guy. When he killed him, and they think Phil was probably closeted, and that's why he was all paranoid. But the way he killed him, and Tony wanted him dead because that was his top earner. That's the kind of intrigue that I feel here, where everybody's talking to each other, but they all know that they're lying to each other, and they all know that at some point in time,
he set up a gang war between the last 2 of the mobs in Gotham.
Yeah, and that ring.
That was great.
What I liked about this show is a lot of times when I'm like watching Sopranos or I'm watching Goodfellas, when I'm watching a mob show with somebody that I'm introducing it to, I gotta explain shit to them, because it's not all. If you're not familiar, this right here, I don't see anybody not being able to.
This shit right here.
You can watch this without being a Batman fan or being a Batman fan, because obviously there's characters in here that are characters. But you could, if you've never watched Batman but you like mob movies, this could be your doorway in. And then because he's going to be in the next movie or next movie, he's part of this.
Go ahead, Clint.
Go ahead, Clint.
This series reminds me a lot of like Sopranos, in that the fact that nobody's a good guy.
Now they're all
even the main, even Tony Soprano is a piece of shit.
Yeah, he does awful things. We end up rooting for him because, like I said, you got guys like Phil. Tony's a murderer. Tony killed his own nephew. Tony's an absolute. He's a gangster. So, but we end up rooting for him because you got guys like Phil, and Phil is worse. Phil is like, like I said, that last season when the last 2 seasons of Phil was 7 years worth of him earning just to die, and he starts out cool. He's like, I got out of the clinker, and this is like, he hates New Jersey.
Worst,
yeah, Phil's worse. Phil's worser. I'm sorry if that's a word. Phil, like I said, I've never jumped out of my chair and root for people like Game of Thrones. I did it all the time when Ramsay Stone, when with Joffrey was all that stuff like that. Yeah, I was like, yeah. When Phil got killed, I was like, I jumped, my chair went backwards, and I'm like, fuck that guy. Because that guy needed to die, and Joffrey, and then Bolton, and then everybody else in Game of Thrones. But the most rewarding death.
I'm looking forward to seeing. I really like John Turturro as Carmine Falcone in the last movie, so I want to see how Mark Strong kind of does that, and see how he approaches that role. Given that, obviously they made the change, but it's going to be in a different kind of context, so it'll be interesting.
That was a death. That I remember how shocked I was when that shit happened. When he's beating her and then she puts one in him. Yeah.
And it looks like Belle and Vince back to back there. They got some food for thought for you there, William.
Let's see.
Is this one?
Yeah, those two.
Point where the pattern will be an issue for the Penguin. If not, there's going to be. Are you talking about like?
Well, that's what the movies are for. That's what the movies are for. And here's the thing, though: you can have Batman, the character, off screen, can literally put pressure on Gotham, and not
already mentioned him
in the show. So he could be cracking down on certain things, and you could see him in the periphery, but it's not Batman, the Penguin. So my expectations are I'm fine if I don't see him in there because that's what I got the movies for. So if they want to do something with Batman TV show later on, but right now I'm in trance, on just this character. And like I said, one thing that I don't like about with comic book movies sometimes, and that's why I don't ever want to see Spider-Man and Daredevil team up in a Spider-Man movie. You got limited amount of time to tell the story of the core character. You have other apparatuses and stuff like that to group movies and everything else, but there is no time for Batman in this series if you're going to properly develop these characters that they've given you in this first episode. I don't need him in here because I got the Batman and I got the Batman 2 and I'm going to have the Batman 3 and I'm pretty sure Oz is going to be in all that. He's that kind of character. So
I'm hoping that this isn't too isolated in storytelling, like it's just a Penguin show, but I hope it lends towards the next Batman movie that comes out.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Yeah, that definitely has to.
So that's what I was hitting at toward.
Like the Court of Owls, like hint at the end of this or something like that. That tells Penguin that he's not as high as he thinks he is. I'm not saying do that example, but something that lends.
I need Matt Reeves to be the one who does Court of Owls because I think the environment that he creates, they fit. Even though he was before him, they fit in what he's doing in ways that that I don't think a lot of people would appreciate necessarily. But who knows how to come out? But yeah, if we got the Court of Owls and this just by the end of the series or some way, just a surprise, that'd be great. I'm ready for it though.
So I wanted it to be like time skips, but this show takes place a week after the last movie, and then the next movie takes place right after this show supposedly. So I don't know how the show's time goes, but instead of we're still gonna have however he's supposed to be 26, 27-year-old Bruce still, right? By the time the next Batman.
That Bruce is probably in his 30s.
No, he's 27 years old, according to the director and in the movie, William. So that's not really up for debate. But he's 27. In the movie, he's 27. Matt Reeves says he's 27. Batman in the comics, as you know, was 25 when he started, and it's a year two story. We can go all day. You're talking to the Batman dude now, William. Let's go.
Oh, wait, that serene sound of silence. Before I let him back in. No, if you read the comics, Batman is not in his mid-20s. There's too much evidence that say he's not. He leaves Gotham for 7 years. He has a law degree. I mean, there's just certain things that you do, unless you're Doogie Howser off the TV show or you're a 12-year-old doctor, that puts you in certain points of your life.
Well, so what would you put Pattinson at age-wise?
I would put Pattinson at like 30 to 32.
Yeah, I can't see him any.
He's 30. He's 35 when he does the movie.
I get that, but it's 36. Just the way they portray it. I mean, he's clearly intended to be the youngest Batman cinematically. So,
per Frank Miller in year one, Batman Bruce Wayne is 25 years old when he returns to Gotham City. Do not play with me, William. Do not play with me.
No. He's also contradicted himself too. Because there's been interviews where
show me the contradiction. Because the age 25 is in the book, year one. That's your favorite fucking Batman book, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
so you know this. Okay.
Take some value.
Okay.
An old man.
All I'm saying, just because you want him to be 30 doesn't mean he's not 27. He's 27 in the movie.
Anyway, let's get back to the show. I'm going to consistent because of just the way that they've lined it up consistently over the 85 years of Batman. By the way, Batman Day is Saturday. For those of you who are local, I have buttons for you. I also, from Comic-Con, I got this with this date in mind. One of my Klaus Janson prints, the Dark Knight prints that he signed at Comic-Con, I am going to be raffling off for customers who come in. When you come in, I'm going to give you a raffle ticket. One raffle ticket for every buck you spend is going to go in there. And at the end of Saturday, at the end of Batman Day, Batman's 85th birthday, we're going to give away that Klaus Janson print. And while supplies last, I have, if you check the Instagram site, you'll see there's different bat signals. There's about 4 different ones for you to pick from when you come in while supplies last, because when I give away free shit, you guys, I've never been able to find the Sci-Fi Center. When I give away free shit, you guys are like laser there, teleported. So yeah, I'll see you on Saturday morning. But no, consistently throughout, through the composite interpretation of Batman. Same thing with Green Lantern. People think Green Lantern is like, well, she should be 22, 23 years old. I'm like, no, there are things in the book that have told you that these guys are not kids when they come in. And even with Superman,
Hal is a test pilot, so you can say he's older. It explicitly says Bruce's age, but also, William, you're talking about an 85-year span that's covering a career of Batman, right? And if we're going off of Frank Miller's continuity, right, he is Batman from 25 till whatever 50 or 45, right? And then he retires, and then he comes back as DKR 10 years or 8 years after, right?
I wish I was sitting in front of my Batman, but he says I've been doing this for 20 years.
Okay, so 20 years is 45.
He's 50.
You have to have 20.
He's 50.
He's been retired.
All right.
There's only so much you can say to him. So
he's out his.
That's not me.
In his. Jim Gordon is talking about.
This is just too much fun.
You guys are going around the circles.
The news is talking about how Batman's been gone for 10 years in the story. You know this. Come on. You know this. You were the one that would correct anybody to say he's 55 in DKR. Okay. DKR says Batman hasn't made an appearance in 10 years. You just said his career was 20 years. 20 to 25 to 45 is 20 years. You've just now proven that he was 25.
Wow, this screaming.
No, William, I have to respect it's 20 years, and there's a 10-year gap from his retirement, so that would make it 25.
There's a 7-year gap that before he even becomes Batman when he leaves Gotham.
But he leaves Gotham as a young man or a teenager, correct? He goes on the journey. His parents die between ages 9 and 11, right? You can. I think it's 9, but you can go from 9 to 11. Shortly thereafter, he goes on the journey.
So he leaves college. So hold on. He starts college, leaves college, goes to law school. And
Bruce Wayne's a polymath, so he also started college way before any of us did.
Well, according to most of the literature that's out there, he started college at 17, 18 years old.
Okay.
So
when did he train with when did he train with Zatara? When did he train with Zatara? Was it before or after college?
It would have been after.
When did he train with Henri Ducard?
All of that would have been. That's what I'm saying. That's all during that 7-year gap that he leaves. But anyway, hold on. We can discuss this on. That's more.
Sure.
Friday.
I'll give you that all day.
We'll discuss this on Friday when I got shit in front of me. We can flip through. But anyway, going back to this show. Going back to this show. Like I said, Matt Reeves. What he does is when you're watching his show, you can feel yourself
in the city,
the environment. You can feel yourself from the point of view in the dialogue. I love the Penguin's dialogue in this whole show especially when he's talking to Vic, when he's relating to Vic, and I think that's going to be one of the things that I do like that's going to grow, that the evolution of his relationship with Vic, I think is going to be important. I think that's where, because it's a reflection on him. He sees they're growing up in St. People. That scene with the slushy, I think was really important because it was a visual relatability. But the other thing I think that's going to evolve is his relationship with Sophia, because she's unpredictable and she's emotional and she is crazy. And that's why I thought it was hilarious when she's torturing him. She knows she's crazy. He knows she's crazy, but she also loved her brother.
She blamed him for the guy she shot for her craziness.
Yeah, which is, I'm like, how the fuck did you get out? Because you heard there's no test that they could have given you.
They're always getting out of Arkham, though, right, William? Yeah, that's the whole thing.
They usually escape. They let that crazy bitch out.
Well, that's just a matter of they need to be under security, but. Going back to
it was money. Somebody bribed her and got
that's it. Well, going back to
budget cuts.
Spidey's theory, though, because I think the more I think about it, I think you're onto something though with that. The world the Iceberg Lounge is going to play, as far as this in the sense being like the Penguin's origin story. if I'm going to say it's like I think the show will wrap up. Maybe not by the end of this show. It will conclude he's got control of the Iceberg Lounge back. He's refurbished
He'll have the
it,
penguin, the overcoat, and the top hat. Is that what you think?
And he's going to give it that makeover that you were talking about. It's like, I think you're really onto something with that.
We'll see. We'll see. I noticed that when he was watching the cabaret, he was so like,
because it has like that. It almost has like the Raven Blade kind of like feel to it in the Batman, and when he goes into the fight scene in the Batman. So yeah, I think that's. I can get down with that theory. It's like I think that's maybe where they're going.
And if they do go Court of Owls, no matter how big you get, there's always somebody bigger.
Yeah, because
but Brad, but you gotta remember, Brad, though, is that he's not gonna be a British guy, a British accent he'll have. It'll be a mafia accent. He'll be going in for this.
Well, yeah, but it's like, but I mean, it's just,
I hope this show
it is what it is for that.
For the better, because to be honest,
what did Joker say about Penguin's accent in Arkham Knight though, Taladia? I bet do you hear that fake accent? I bet he just puts it on to sound scary, right? That was the whole.
Yeah.
Oh, fun. Says.
I didn't need to see that, but oh well, there you go.
Well,
Matt Reeves wanted to show that prosthetic all the way off.
They're flexing like on their makeup budget with the show.
Also, because when we revisit this on Saturday, when it comes to all of these characters, remember they get handed over to other people that
reiterate it. Yes.
Yeah, retcon. Like I said, because if you go from, like I said, the original, Superman's a little bit different. What is that? Superman's a little bit different because of the way they retcon Superboy and how old Clark was when he left Smallville.
Well, even the Legions of Superhero stuff, and the fact that Superman and Wonder Woman are the most inconsistent two characters in DC because they always change their power sets and have ever since they've existed.
Yeah, because like I said, with Batman, because there's one thing that actually showed Batman's law degree actually in his office when he comes up from the Batcave. So, like I said, if you add all that together, the 7 years is what's pivotal for me because that's been the consistency. When all the people who have written Batman, he goes away and he comes back, and even the movies a lot of the movies have put that through. He goes and trains with who they change who he trains to depending on who's writing it, post crisis and everything else. But it's consistently that, and plus where he's at and this kind of stuff. Batman's a fucking ninja. That's not some shit. That's not a 4-year degree. Batman's a ninja who can beat the shit out of ninjas.
So my question, Michael, I know you're saving this for Saturday, but my question, William, is what does he do from age 11, let's say, until age 16? What does he do?
I don't think this is my opinion. We can understand that's not what he's doing. I think
he was a teenage lover with Zatanna.
Yeah.
So he had to have been with Zatara while he was a teenager.
But you're talking about okay, but here's the thing. You're talking about getting as good as he's gotten. Getting as good as he's gotten, and not just learning the skill, being better than the best in the world at the skill. These are trained killers that he's like multiples. Batman can take on there are some people in the movies that can't even take on.
You're talking 127 mastered martial arts Bruce Wayne has under his belt.
You know who else? Can do that? Brad and Aaron can.
There you
go.
But we can revisit this on Saturday when you're prepared, William. I want to be on the panel with you though, because
I'm not letting your ass on the panel.
Why? Because that's not even fair. You got the audience even saying, "Look, man, let the man talk."
I want you to be on your medication before you come up in here.
Oh, this guy.
But no, like I said, to me, you have to get to where he's at. That takes time and perfection, and he is no joke when it comes to martial arts. That's Bruce Wayne is. I would not want to bump into this guy with a gun at distance.
That's what I'm saying, because he'll throw a fucking batarang right at the barrel, then he'll be on you the next.
And then he does that shit that Matt Murdock does.
He'll throw the smoke bomb down, and then he'll come from behind you somehow.
There's one thing that the Nolan Batman did that Batman does in the comics, and Daredevil does it too. It's where he's standing right there, and you can't see him. And like when Joker is saying, well, you know what I got these cars. Batman's there the whole time.
You're gonna love me.
Yeah, right in the middle of the fucking
he's right
house.
There.
That's great.
That is an acquired skill that's actually in Brad. There's people that can that have been rumored to be able to do that, And it's a discipline that takes years and years and years. And Matt Murdock's another one. Stick taught him how to do that. Matt Murdock sat right in a full-on Daredevil costume, sat right in front of a bunch of people that were talking and scheming about trying to get him.
This motherfucker's always in the Kingpin's office without the Kingpin knowing it, and then he'll be like right behind him.
So these are when you want to figure how old Bruce Wayne might be, just Google how long does it take to become a ninja? Because I'm pretty sure that's
well, I mean, it depends on your starting point too, like your age.
You start okay. So my assumptions from reading Batman is that he starts this once he leaves Gotham.
When he's in adulthood, when he starts.
Yeah. So if you give around that time, that puts him just hitting 30 when he puts on the cowl. That puts him with everything, college, law school, everything that you and experience, not just learning the shit, getting good enough to be like ninjas are like, I really don't need this in my life right now.
So in your opinion, William, what do you subscribe to? Do you subscribe to that Batman was born when the bullet hit his parents, or Batman was born when the bat came through the window? What is your consternation?
When the bat came through the window, and here's why I say that is because the mentality that drove Bruce Wayne to become Batman is born when his parents are killed. Mm-hmm. The tools that he needed to become the Batman came to him in mostly in adulthood.
Okay, my interpretation, whether or not the bat came through the window, Batman was born when the bullets hit his parents. But that's my interpretation.
Well, philosophically, you were right in a way. What the seeds that will become him, but as far as the skill and the proficiency and the things that he can do better than he's in the best shape. He's in better shape than anybody. He knows things. Like I said, a trained ninja that has masters and can do all the crazy shit that you see. Bruce Wayne can do that crazy shit. And then
that's why you also can't sleep on the Robins, because he's training them all from roughly the same age he was.
Yeah, and Damian needs to be trained.
And Damian is a product of the League of Assassins. Yes.
Yeah. So
when people talk shit about the Robins, it doesn't make too much sense, because you got a fucking younger Bruce basically running around next to Bruce.
And you have Damian. Now Damian would have been different because Damian by birth.
Yes, Damian came from the League of Assassins.
Damian learned how to walk. Damian became a ninja type while he walked. Yeah. So you figure, even he didn't start training. So you figure,
he had to learn how to. He had to unlearn how to be such.
Well, yeah, because he was killing people,
thing.
And Batman's like, we can't do that. Yeah. And when he beat the shit out of Joker, which is one of my favorite, I'm like, wow, this. I thought he was actually going to,
That's the Robin catharsis of all time, right there. Is when Damian fucking the Joker up.
He enjoyed it. He was the problem there is that a lot of people had a problem with that because he was sadistically enjoying torturing the Joker, and I'm like, well, why are we having sympathy for the Joker?
And then Death of the Family came out right after that, and Joker had the cut off face right after that, right?
Yeah. Then they had the one where he's on the cat with Barbara, and he has a smile. That people boycotted that shit, but no. So a lot of it is going to depend on when do you think Bruce Wayne started to become the professional vigilante that he is? At what point
also,
did he learn?
It's not strictly fighting skills in Batman's case. He's also learning, detective skills and espionage and
escape arts, theatrics,
forensics.
Acting,
forensics. That's
chemistry.
Not. Yeah, and that's what he's doing during that 7-year gap, because I think he leaves Gotham at around, in my opinion, right as he's getting out of law school. That puts him at 23, 24. You add 7 years to that, he's breaking 30 when he first gets all this together. And that includes the training, that includes the tech, that includes also developing everything that he's going to use technologically, all his Batman, all this stuff.
But that stuff's work in progress, because he doesn't start out with everything developed.
He doesn't start out with everything, but even in year one, he starts out with things that you just don't, you know what I mean?
Well, he has the tools of the trade, right. The ninja style shit. Yeah.
So I'm going to hold fast. I'm going to say Batman, when you see Batman, he's 30. He's 30 when you see him. And like I said, there are inconsistencies even with some of the best writers of him, but there are constant threads. And then there's just common, how long would it take for somebody to be proficient in this? Same thing with Hal Jordan. There are certain things in his life that is really easy to determine how old he is. Superman's a little bit ambiguous because, like I said, they played fast and loose with his origins and literally eliminating his
all the time. And especially, like you always say, the Legion of Superheroes completely throws everything in a loop with Superman's origin story.
Yeah, and their elimination of it.
Yeah. So
that's the problem with Superman, because Superman, you could make a case for Superman being anywhere from 25 to 28, to depending on when you see him in life.
Well, even like
who's telling the story too.
like Earth One Superman and some other Superman stories have him actually doing other jobs before he makes it to Metropolis.
Before he makes it to Metropolis for quite a time too. So it's a tough one, but like I said, I think that the case has been made with just by what Bruce Wayne can do. The very first time you see Bruce Wayne is somebody you don't need to be bothered with. And like I said, ninjas are like, fuck it, let's find something easier.
So just on the side, has nothing to do with Batman whatsoever. But in your debate expertise with comic books, my nephew says that they brought to me Wally West versus Dr. Doom, who would win? I say Doom beats Wally West for a myriad of reasons. Well, they don't believe so.
Game plans for him, then it's just like
Batman. I say Dr. Doom wins it because Wally gets caught up by fucking glue and ice all the time. That's nothing for Dr. Doom, who's fucking he's Iron Man and Doctor Strange at the same time. So what?
if you game plan for your opponent, Batman has shown you. Remember the Impact Tower Battle? Batman has shown you that if you game plan for your opponent, you can beat anybody. And then I love the quote in there. He's like, "You have a backup plan for everybody else." Bruce, what's the backup plan for you? And he's like, "That's what I have you for." I love that. I love that. I paraphrased it, but I love that part.
But they use Wally West specifically because he's the fastest Flash with the most feats. And between him being the fastest speedster, with him being superlative, having superlative or moves that are superlative of the actual Speed Force, like trans time and the dwarf star punch, those types of things, I still think Doom beats him. But the kids did bring up a good case. The kids did bring up a good case. My argument is Dr. Doom has an awareness of other fucking multiverses anyway, so he would know how to study Flash from Marvel anyway.
Well, just like quantum physics, if he has any type of knowledge about quantum physics,
I mean, he steals powers from gods on a regular basis. I had a lot of reasons, but the kids were sticking to their argument.
Well, if you can granted the Beyonders is shit enemy,
right. But you got Galactus, you got so.
He siphoned powers off of anybody, so he's gotten within range to do that.
That's another thing. So my argument was that the Speed Force can be siphoned from. We know this because Reverse Flash has done it, and Dr. Doom would have done that. Also, Superboy Prime was stuck in the Speed Force and got out using basically all that's inside of the fucking Speed Force is sand. So he had to have created his armor basically out of the pressure of his hands, which at best would have been carbon-based shit. So basically steel or whatever. So Superboy Prime's suit to get outside of the Speed Force when he was trapped in there can't be any more advanced than anything Dr. Doom's ever come up with.
All right, I think that's where we're gonna leave it off.
Sorry, I know that's not really a Batman thing.
No, we're gonna roll it in. Tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow's always ambiguous of what we're gonna be doing. I know Saturday. Obviously, we have our, and I have to make the link for it, what we're going to be doing, but there you go. Keep an eye out for that one. In fact, as soon as I get done here, I'm going to go ahead and make the event, and then I'll post the actual donation link. So hopefully right now we're at 15.8. Hopefully we can get close to 20 grand.
Okay.
We never know. You never know when it happens. We're watching all the episodes, so they're not that long. So it's going to be roughly about 4 hours.
Yeah, the show between it all is about the length of the CSJL.
It's
4 hours. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. I liked it. I think you'll like it a lot of you.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys, that is it. Thanks you for joining us on this. Like I said, this is going to be the only one that we do on a Thursday for Penguin. I'm undecided yet if we want to do watch alongs for each episode. It's all we'll have to work that out with
I'm down because I'm enjoying the show. So.
Yeah,
didn't you do something? Didn't you have like an after show of Game of Thrones like shortly after the episode came out?
Yeah.
So you want to do it around that time, or you want to just do your normal?
Well, I'm not, like I said, I'm not available on Sundays that early. So I will be, like I said, around 10 o'clock will probably be when we screen them if we do that, and then we'll do just like this. We'll just basically we'll just add after show to it, and then what we'll do is, like I said, it's going to be a full on spoiler because obviously we're watching the episode with each other, so it'll be a spoiler watch along, a spoiler review. But like I said, this is the kind of show that I'm definitely excited for, and at the same time, I'm excited for this show. I'm excited for any other interpretation of Batman that comes along, and I hope that or this, any branching off. I hope that this universe and this atmosphere finally shakes that stupid screw that's in, a lot of people's heads about, well, we can't do this because we've got to do that. And I'm like, no, if I can enjoy this atmosphere, and guess what? Pitch yours too. as long as it takes you guys to make movies, shit. I don't want to go, these giant lapses without some type of Batman, man. Fuck that. I need to have your shit ready over there, and when it runs its course, have this over here. And I should have, with as many Batman stories there are to tell, I think that you could alternate Batman series and movies and shows throughout the next 10 years. So
last question to kind of tie to this before we get off. Do you think that we're going to see any other mainline villains in this show at any point?
I think towards the end of the show,
I think Harvey Dent's supposed to appear.
Yeah, but he's like from what I heard,
Joker.
Yeah, they had Joker in the movie, so he might I would think if he does appear, I would think if he does appear, it's going to be like that silhouette kind of thing.
It would be towards the end of the show as we lead in to give you, but I think they're going to keep this primarily him, but you may see glimpses, but they'll just be that. They won't be storyboard parts. So.
Try.
Yes, try. Always try.
Better try.
As Ted was pointing out, the source wall in Superman the Animated Series or Justice League, when Lex Luthor goes by the source wall, you see Galactus and Doctor Doom in the source wall as an Easter egg.
Mr. Freeze, yes, he would be a great. He'd be a very Tra surprise. Very Tra.
All right, is not what the fucking word's an adjective now? Is this a verb? What are you doing? All right, that's it. Before you guys still completely off the rails.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.